Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to create a layout using the Charming Village punch, which several of us got a while back. So I'm excited to be able to use this punch in a new way, and this is going to be taking a look at one of the layouts that was done on the CM blog, and we're going to kind of put our own little twist on it. And so I hope you'll join me. Let's check out my workspace and get started. Alright, so this is my desktop for today. We're going to do, this is layout number 8. Can you believe it? This is layout number 8 in our 12 layouts for Christmas. I hope you're ready for Christmas because we're getting close. If you got the Charming Village punch or the embellishments from the Black Friday bundles, I wanted to play with those today. The Charming Village punch is a punch that was released a while back. So many of the people who have been purchasing CM products for years now probably already have this, but hopefully it looks like many of you went ahead and picked it up with the Black Friday bundles as well, because this sold out again as far as the Black Friday bundles go. So I know many of you out there have this punch. And if you're an advisor, after the Black Friday bundles were over with, one of the perks of being an advisor was you could spend a little bit of money and get the embellishments and the sticker pack if you chose, which, you know, one or the other or both, depending on how much you ordered in product. And so then you didn't have to get another punch. You could just get the embellishments, which was, I thought, a very nice thing for CM to do, because we were really disappointed. This looked super fun and cool, but it's hard when you've earned something free to get something, to get another punch that you already have is really kind of hard. So I'm glad that they made these available for all of us to be able to earn. Anyway, so I want to play with those today and make a layout similar to this one. It's not going to be exactly like this because I don't have all of the elements that Karen McDermott-Rolfe designed this particular page for the CM blog, and I'm not sure exactly how she made this particular piece right here, but we're going to use the Mirrored Scallop punch, which is currently in the last chance area on our blog post. As I'm recording this anyway, it is still there. So I'm going to use that today in place of this, and I think it'll turn out just fine. I think it'll be very cute. So let's get started. I'm going to just move a couple of my tools out of the way. And we're going to get, we are going to, I think, play with a gold dot tip pen today too. So if you have one of those, you might want to get that out. Just going to move the stickers and the embellishments out of the way for the time being. We'll get to those eventually. But right now we have some punching to do. So just to review what I have as far as paper goes on my table, I have 2 sheets from Joy to the World, the green leafy one that has kind of a chevron pattern on the back, and the one with the poinsettia, red poinsettias on the front, and the large print, flower print on the back. So we're going to use those today. The green's going to be our base, and the red we're going to do some punching and some other things with. Okay, I'm just trying to decide what I want to start with here. So I think what I'm going to start with is the border maker. We're going to punch 2 rows of our Mirrored Scallop chain punch, and I'm going to do that using a piece of crimson cardstock, which matches this designer paper really, really well, just beautifully. So we're gonna just punch, I'm just gonna punch 2 of these ribbons. And you can see it's a chain punch. We know that because it separates from the page and becomes its own piece to the puzzle, as it were. Whew, I am making a mess. It's okay. That's half the fun of being creative, is making a mess. All right, so we're just going to do one more of those, and then we'll set those aside for the time being. And then I'm going to do 2 white ones. So we've got our 2 red. Then I'm going to look at those cute waves. Aren't those nice? This is a piece, this is not just white cardstock. This is actually a piece of textured cardstock. If you remember, I can't remember what, I think they called this pearl something. It's got these lines in it. I don't know if you can see that on camera very well. They're a little shiny. I just thought it might add some texture to what we're doing today. I'm going to do 2 of these ribbons with the white. And these are going to become that ribbon that's underneath that I don't have. I can't tell if she used a punch there or not because I didn't get all of the instructions when I printed this, so I'm sure Karen included that in her notes. She's very thorough, but I didn't have time to look it up again and just decided that I can be creative and come up with something out of my stash that will work, right? Don't have to use exactly what she did. It's sort of more fun when you make something your own by tweaking it or changing something, right? To make it more your own piece. All right, now I'm going to set that punch aside, and we're going to come in here and punch several of our Charming Village. And if you've not used one of the CM punches before, let me just explain. There are these marks on the front. Do you see these marks? I actually wrote mine on here because the old version of this punch does not have them printed. But the newer ones, it is permanently affixed there. Mine are actually just, I used a pen, a permanent marker to put those on there. You line your paper, the edge of your paper up with that mark and push it all the way to the back, to the shoulder, and punch, and then slide your design along until it matches the blue design that's on the wing of the punch right out here. So each time you punch, you slide it until it matches the design, and make sure it's pushed to the back shoulder, and then just keep punching and sliding. And then it will make a connected, cute little border town for us. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to grab my trimmer and trim this off. I'm going to punch 3 of these, and each time I punch 3 of them, I'm going to trim them with about, what is that? It's about 5/8 of an inch from the base of where it's punched to where I'm cutting. Okay, So we're going to just, I'm going to do 2 of them with 1 inch, and then the last one I'm going to do with a little bit longer. So trade places with those tools, and we'll do this again. Sometimes you get that little itty bitty tiny piece that comes off the edge, and I just literally tear it off because it's just usually, if you see it, it's just usually barely a hair's width. Nothing that you would need to cut with scissors or anything like that. Okay, I'm gonna trim this one the same. As this. And we'll do one more. If you have a punched design that you're using and it's having a hard time sliding over, then just pull it out, straight out, and then slide it back in. Sometimes different elements like this can get caught as you're trying to slide it through the punch, and then you can snag them, and then everyone's unhappy because then sometimes the punched piece gets ripped, which is not our goal, right? We want to be happy and not tear things unintentionally. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to cut it so that I have 1.5 inches below, just in case we need it, and we might, because we're going to layer these. So we've got that. Now I'm also going to come back in and I'm going to punch using my red cardstock. I'm going to punch, going to punch my Charming Village twice more. I think it says just to do it once in her directions, but in looking at the design, I think I'm going to want 2 shadows, so I'm going to punch it twice just in case. So I'm just going to turn this around and go ahead and punch the other side, and then that way I can trim them both at the same time. One more. There we go. All right. And these, I'm going to do one at that 3/4 or nearly 3/4 mark. And I'm going to do one at the longer mark, so 1.5 inches. Just in case. We can always trim it shorter, but we can't add it back on, right? Okay. Okay, so that'll do for that. Oh, now we need the base for the photos that are going to go down here. So let's figure out what the base should be. It looks like there's about an inch here and an inch here, so that would make this a 10-inch block. Let's see if that would work. A 10-inch block would have a 6-inch and a 4-inch, and then we've got about 3/8 of an inch extra. So this should be 10 and 3/8 inches wide. Oh, something got our visiting puppy dog excited upstairs. Okay, so 10 and 3/8 is what I'm trimming that at. And then this is 4 inches, and I'm guessing this is probably 2 1/4 plus 1/4 and 1/8. So 4, 6, 6 1/2, 6 5/8. We're going to go with 6 5/8. Let's see if that, yeah, that should work. Okay, so 6 5/8. And that will be this piece for our photos. Okay. And that is, and I'm going to make a note here. So that is 6 by 4, 4 by 4, and 2 1/4 square. 2 1/4, 4 1/2, 8 1/2, 10 3/4. Yeah, it's going to be too much, so we might have to adjust the sizing on these down here. I might be off on that. Okay, well, we'll figure that out when we get there. So I'm just going to set that piece up there, and let's work on our charming village. All right? All right, so I'm going to leave those there for right now. Actually, no, let's go ahead and we'll fix these real quick. So I'm going to place some, I probably didn't need to do that. I always do that. Do you do that? Flip over your cardstock, even though you know it's the same color on both sides. I always think it's funny when I do that. Okay, so we're just placing this so that we have maybe a 1/16 of an inch of a shadow of the red underneath it. Okay, and try to make it even all the way along so that it's nice and straight. And we're going to do that with both of these. And I'm putting my repositionable adhesive along the edge of that scallop, but you can do it right down the center. That would be okay too. Because right now we just want this to stay together. And there's really no concern if these rounded portions aren't stuck together. It'll be all right. All right, so those we're going to set up there for right now. Now we're going to take those two and this one. So one of our Charming Village strips goes right up there at the top. The other one, I'm going to flip the other direction, and we're going to shadow it as well. So I'm going to add, and this time I'm going to make sure I am adhering portions of the punched area as well as some of the base. Okay, and we're going to just do the same thing, but we're going to go kind of to the right, about the same distance. I'm sorry, I said to the right, I meant to the left. So that the red shadow is to the right of the buildings. And you're going to want to guide it as it goes down across the page because it will want to go wonky on you. Okay, so there we go. Now we have a little bit of a red shadow behind each one of our white houses. There, we're going to do the same thing for this layer, but flipped the other direction. So I'm going to turn this way so I can pull down on the houses that I'm adhering. Not adhering every single one, but definitely the taller church school type building and the building with the open windows. Okay, and now we're going to keep the shadow going to the same side because the sun hasn't changed its location, right? So keep that shadow in the same, or at the same point. Okay, there we go. I think that's the way we want it. Because this one will go in front of the one in back. And this one will go or maybe we'll put the longer one. Let's do that. We'll flip this over. And we'll do this one in the middle. And this one in front. Right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue those down, or adhere those down together. I'm going to put my repositionable adhesive on the smaller one behind so that I can lay this one down on top. And you're just giving it kind of a reasonable distance. You don't want to cover up the homes in the back row, but you don't want them to be wonky either. You want them to be straight. Okay, so there's those. And I'm using my repositionable adhesive so that if any of it shows through the holes, I can rub it off if I need to. And this one's going to go down a little bit further in front. Just like that. Then we're going to take our base and I'm going to use my permanent adhesive on this to go ahead and put it all the way down. just not adhering the homes that are in the back row. Oh, before we do that, I almost forgot. We need to adhere this guy. So I'm going to do a little bit of repositionable across, not the side with the red showing, but the other side, okay? And then this is going to go, it's going to be easier if we can see it, so we're going to put adhesive side up, and we're going to lay this down so we have about 1/8 of an inch of that center part showing. Like that. Okay, now let's see how much permanent adhesive I still have back here. I think I'm going to need to add just a little bit more. Okay, now this will go about 1/4 of an inch from the top edge of my paper. Maybe more like 3/8 of an inch from the top edge of my paper. You just want to make sure that it's straight, right? And then push that down. Now we're going to adhere our mat for our photos. This is going to get centered. Like that. Okay. Oops, I did it again. This piece needs to go underneath this piece down here at the bottom. And how wide did we cut that? We cut that at 10 3/8. So I need to trim this off at 10 3/8. 10 3/8. Alright, now I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive again across the white top, not across the side with the shadow, and grab my all-purpose tool to kind of lift this up because I was smart and I already put it down. If you haven't already put yours down, then just go ahead and adhere your, and then I'm going to lift this all the way up. There. You know what? I'm going to take this off just because it's not going to be centered properly because I've got that ruffle that needs to go on. So we're going to do this again. There we go. Okay, so we're going to get this put on. So adhesive towards the top of my table. And we're going to just adhere this just like we did under the border at the top. And then I'm going to add a little more adhesive. And we'll center this again. Just like that. All right. Permanent's only permanent after it sits there for a little bit. Sometimes, like this time. I was lucky enough I could pop it back off. Okay, so we've got that. Now we get to play with some embellishments. This is the fun part. I mean, it's all fun, but this is the really fun part. And if you don't have these, you can still do this layout. It's just maybe you want to get your pens out and color the houses so that you can see, you know, some animation of those punched houses that we've got up there. So there's those houses. These packages are sometimes hard to open. Okay, there's some bigger ones. Ooh, we've got some trees in here too, some acrylic trees. That's kind of fun. Oh, and some paper trees. That's what these are. Trees and churches. How fun is that? So we could use some of these as well. Houses and stars too. So lots to play with. Okay, so let's see. What should we do? I have not even opened these up to look at them, so this is kind of my first. Oh, look, we've got a cafe and a candy shop, and those are houses. Decorated houses with smoke coming from the chimney. There's another decorated house. That's a tavern. More houses. That's the post office. This is just super cute. The designers just, I'm guessing, had so much fun. I would have had so much fun creating these. So cute. The toy shop. More houses. We've got churches. Looks like a church. There's another house. Some of these look a little bit more like churches than anything else. That looks a little bit like a school. Trees, the little red schoolhouse. Okay, so just kind of separating them out here just to get a better idea of what we have. And I'm not planning to use every single one of these on this layout, but it sure is fun. It's kind of like playing paper dolls. So then we've got lots of trees, a couple of them decorated with stars on them and some with snow, which is super fun. Okay, so she, in her example, she did a couple in the back and a couple of little clusters in the front, or in the middle, and then more in the front. So what we could do is go ahead and I'm just going to start. I'm going to use my repositionable adhesive, and I'm going to just add some here and there. So I'm going to make the back row houses, I think. And I'm going to avoid the green because they're right up against the green background, so I don't want there to be a lot of confusion there. Look at that, how they just go right on to kind of do do like that and let that one have a little bit of an outline. Let's put a tree in between. We'll put one with a star. That one doesn't seem to want to match up. There. That's better. I'll put a blue, another blue house back here in this little neighborhood. Alright, now we need a little bit of a neighborhood kind of in the middle, right? We'll put a cafe. Maybe one of these other little, let's see. We'll put a church right in the middle of town. We'll put post office. The post office is usually right in the middle of town, right? Post office next to the church. Of course, we can't tell it's the post office because this building in front of it. How about if we just trim off the steeple of that one? Then we can see what it is. Toy shop behind it. Add a tree with snow in between. Oh, excuse me. Whew. And I'm going to add another tree. Right here on the other side of the corner cafe, even though that's a house. I'm going to just stick a tree there. Okay, in the front, I think I'm going to go ahead and do both of these red tall buildings and make them the school. I'm going to put them together. So they're going to go kind of over here. I'm going to do the darker one in the back. So it's going to go right there. And then I'm going to kind of offset the lighter red one and put it kind of in the front. Okay, so that can be the schoolhouse. And then we're going to have the candy shop. The candy shop and the Christmas tree farm, or Christmas tree, yeah, Christmas tree farm are going to be over here. So there's the candy shop. And the Christmas tree farm right next to it. Right there. And then maybe we'll just put a couple of houses in between. So we got this one that's looking cozy with its smoke rings. Well, okay, there. And there. Maybe we'll put a tree next to them. Off to the side over here. Oh, goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm having to... Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do as far as the houses are concerned. So I'm going to just scoot these off and put them over here. But there are some really cute, excuse me, some really cute stickers that I want to add also. Like this street sign that says Holly Avenue with a snowman. I think that would be super cute to add. And I think he needs to go kind of in here. And I'm gonna stick him underneath this guy. And then maybe we'll put this bench with the street light over here on the other side. It's kind of fun to design your own town. It's really, really fun. Very cute. All right. I think that's all I'm going to do for right now, but you can see how there's lots of other options. Excuse me, lots of other options for decorating your own little town. I think what we will do is we'll put a little car on the street, but we're going to need to draw our road first. So I'm going to grab a zero centering ruler, and I'm going to grab my black dual tip pen, which I thought I had out here, but I'm not seeing it out here now, and it's not in my pen box. So that means, you know what that means. That means it's hiding in my basket up here. Aha! Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this sideways, and I'm going to draw a cute dotted line. You can see that Karen did that on hers, and she just sort of created a a road to go in front of her town, which I think is very cute, and we're going to do that too. So I'm going to use the thin side of my double-sided marker, and I'm just going to, and I'm going to use my zero centering ruler. I'm just going to go off the base of the closest home to the base of my design. Actually, I'm going to give it a little, about another 1/8 of an inch, I think. And I need to make it straight because my road needs to be straight. There we go. And I'm just going to make a tiny little dotted, almost like a stitch line if you've done stitch lines on your layouts before, like the dash line on the road. So that we have a cute little road that goes all the way across. And it looks like my pen is starting to run out of ink. We'll just figure that the snow is covering some of those, right? Excuse me. All right, so we're going to do like that, and then we're going to add, we need a car or a truck or something. I think I like the little truck with the trees in it, like he's headed to the tree farm. And I'm going to pop him up with some foam squares. If I can remember where I stuck my foam squares. There they are. So just a couple of little ones, just to give him some definition. I'm going to stick him on the road right here, headed to the Christmas tree farm over here, right? Plus he's a red truck, so we like red trucks around my house. All right, so then in addition to that, I wanted to show you kind of how the photos are going to work on this page. This is turning out so cute. I really, really like this. So I've got a couple of just cute little mats that I can use to represent photos. And I'm gonna put these on here so you can see approximately how much you can fit. So we've got a 6x4, a 4x4, and we can probably bring those down just a little. And then I've got 2x2s along the bottom. And I'm not sure if these are Karen's measurements or not, because like I said, I wasn't able to get the other page printed and I didn't look it up. But I think it's reasonable to expect that you've got 4 2x2s, and then this would end up being a 1.5x2 that you could make a note in, or you could use that for another picture if you want. So those will go there, and then we'll put a couple of small, you could put a couple of small embellishments on here if you wanted to, or you don't really, I don't think, even need embellishments because you've got all this going on up here. So maybe something small here, but not much. So let's see what we've got that we might be able to use that would just be small enough to add to. We could say the best time of year. That one's kind of small. And if we pop it up with a foam square, then we can sneak our pictures underneath it. So we'll put a foam square on the back of that, and then set that right. Actually, I need to move this over a little bit further. So can I get it off? Probably not. Once these are down, they're generally down for the count. Yeah, it's the stickers definitely stick, and so do the foam squares. So if you put it in the wrong place, you're kind of in trouble. And I definitely put mine in the wrong place. I got excited. So get off my finger. Let's see if I can get that off. Okay. I'm thinking that foam square needs to be further over to this side so that so that it's not going to interfere with the photo. So there we go. That'll work. Best time of the year, and I can stick my photos underneath there when I get them. And then we could put let's just put a couple of stars on the other side. Why not, right? Let me grab a couple of these. We can put little I think we can fit a foam square on the back of one of these. Whoa, almost not, but yes. So we'll just carefully pop those up. You have to be really careful when something's so small. I probably should have trimmed my foam squares just a little bit to put those on. I think we'll add a third one, but I'm not going to pop this one up. I'm just going to have this one be on the page. All right, I believe we are done. Now I was gonna use this gold dot pen, because you'll notice in Karen's design she has gold dots in the border that goes here, but because I have not a round dot in there, I'm not going to use that. But if you are using a punch that has a round dot there, you could go through with your dot pen and just put a gold dot in there. I think that would be really cute and definitely add something to the page. I may go back in and add a star here or there, up there, just to kind of get a little bit more gold up on the top, just to give an accent. But otherwise, I think this is a super cute page, and I think as cute as it is here with Karen's sample, I think it's even cuter when you make it in person. I don't know, there's just something about it. It's very charming. And I hope that you will take the time to put this together, because I know that you'll be very happy with it. This would be a very cute one-page border or one-page layout, or if you wanted to make it a two-page layout, what I would do to make it a two-page layout is make a second page, use the same green to back the second page and the red to mat the photos, and then maybe just do one strip of the Charming Village across the bottom on this side with a few extra houses on it, and then that would make a cute second page. So super fun. If I'm able to get that second page put together, I'll add it to the end of the video so you can see it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that this has been fun for you, and I hope it's something that you can make and add to your own albums and enjoy. And until next time, I hope you have many more creative moments. Have a great day.